the Chiefs are, I mean, they are that team. They're right up there. They were able to get into the bye week because of the Bengals and Bills game, which was canceled on January 2nd. And, I mean, I feel like they would have been able to get there anyway, even if that game wasn't canceled and Buffalo was able to just keep winning. Cincinnati was able to keep winning. There's a lot of competition in the AFC, but the Chiefs they always find a win. And I think that Mahomes always finds a win and or a way to win. And with that busted ankle, he's getting 2 more weeks to rest it and to prepare for the Super Bowl. So I think we can get that out of the equation because clearly it wasn't an issue when they were playing the Bengals. And like you were saying, Josh, Pacheco has been a huge help. McKinnon has been a huge help as well. I think Valdez-Scantling had. I'm trying to remember, but he definitely had over 100 yards. He had that touchdown. Things were just clicking for them. Everything was working for them, and the Eagles. I think just the emergence of Jalen Hurts, his run game has almost opened up a new possibility for Miles Sanders because they have that 1-2 punch in the run game, which most teams don't have. And then, of course, you have Devontae Smith having a best season of his career so far. It's probably going to be one of his best years ever. For Devontae Smith, and we can say the Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill, and that was a huge blow offensively. But defensively, they lost Tyrann Mathieu and they lost Daniel Sorensen. But they were able to replace those guys with young rookies like Williams and Karlaftis, and it's just all been able to work. So hats off to Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo for getting that team just immediately, like, huge turnover, but immediately just right back in it. Mohammed, what are you seeing for the Super Bowl? Is it going to be one of the best we've ever had? What kind of hype are you giving it?
Kansas City's going to blow Philly out the game. I'm Kansas City's going to blow Philly out the game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts with it. I just think they're going to like if you look at the two routes to get there, and no offense to, or all offense taken, Josh, I think that the Niners couldn't physically test them. The Giants completely let me down. I thought the Giants were some sort of like dark horse to get to the NFC Championship. Clearly, I was on one that day. But I think that Philly hasn't seen a lot in the past couple of weeks as much as Kansas City. And for Kansas City to go through, that Bengals game was close, man. That Bengals game was real close. Mm-hmm. And for them to come back from that, to me, my sports philosophy is a lot about momentum. I think that if you have a lot of momentum coming into a couple of games, you saw, I don't know, in basketball recently with Cam Thomas all of a sudden turning into a top 5 player in the league. I don't know where the hell that came from. But, so Mahomes going through what he has, he's been under the bright lights. He's seen it. It's been he's been to every single season, guys. Everyone that Mahomes has played in, he's played in an AFC Championship minimum. That is insane. The fact that he set that kind of precedent.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, if I had to give that, I'd say Kansas City wins. To give an exact score, I'm going 30-10, Kansas City. 30-14. Never mind. 30-17. 30-17. Hold on. 30-17. That's my pick. That's my luck. I think that Kansas City's offense is kind of bulletproof in a way after going through what they've gone through over the past couple of years together. And I don't think that the Eagles are. I'm a big proponent of, especially in a lot of situations like these, experience tends to win games. And Kansas City's been there. Their core hasn't really changed too much. They've just added supplementary pieces that'll help that core. So I don't know. Maybe it's a new. Then again, I didn't think Philly was even going to get to this point. Philly, I didn't think that Philly was going to get to this point. So then again, I have been a Philly hater for some odd reason. I don't know if I don't hate Philly cheesesteaks. I have nothing wrong with that. I just for some reason haven't really resonated with the Eagles as much this year. So that's my pick. I got Kansas City 30-17.
30-17. Nice. Yeah. I definitely I can see that kind of result happening because the Eagles, I just saw shades of them breaking down against the Niners before Purdy went out, and I was just thinking, man, like Jalen Hurts, he's been locked in so much this year, but I feel like it's gonna be easier for Hurts to be disengaged. If we're comparing the quarterbacks, Mahomes is a lot more ahead of Hurts. Hurts, it hasn't been on this stage before. I just think that the Chiefs have a lot better of a chance here. Offensively, they have a lot more chemistry. They are kind of been trialed and tested. Yes, both defenses can bring it. The Eagles' defense probably statistically should be able to take down the Chiefs, but I'm pretty sure that the Chiefs' offense is going to be able to overpower the Eagles' defense. So I'm seeing that probably happening. 28-20 probably final score. I don't think it's going to be as close as it probably will end up being, but I just think that the Chiefs have way more ability, way more versatility, using Kelsey as a diversion. They've unlocked Valdez-Scantling, Pacheco, McKinnon. They're going to get involved in the passing game as well. And I just don't know if the Eagles are going to be able to take those deep shots to get downfield. It's just going to be a little bit too much for Hurts being under the spotlight for that. So that's why I'm taking the Chiefs. Josh?
Yeah, you guys have been giving a lot of love to Travis Kelsey, but come on, don't forget his big brother, Jason.
He's been watching that podcast. That's why he's loving that.
No, but regardless, I do think the Chiefs win this game. If you put the Eagles on the other side and put them in the AFC instead of the Chiefs, I think the Eagles may squeak by the Jags, but there's no way the Eagles would have beat the Bengals. There's no way. And this may be biased, I don't think the Eagles would have beat the Niners if Brock Purdy was able to stay in that game. I really don't think they would have done it. I just think that the Eagles have had kind of a cakewalk in. Like the Jaguars, who the Chiefs play in the first round, they're better than the Giants. I don't think the Eagles, like you said, Matt, have had enough competition so far in the playoffs, and I think they're a little over cocky of what they're truly capable of. Like I still don't understand how Jalen Hurts had 120 passing yards in the NFC Championship game against a beat-up Niners team who was just pissed off and throwing punches left, right, and center. Mahomes is going to throw, I think, for probably 300 again, and I think they're going to win the game 24-14. I want to say they win it by at least 10 points.
All right, and finally, who are we thinking is going to be the X factor? The person who's going to make the big play or have the big touchdown, or be able to noticeably contribute in a way that they don't always do, or maybe they always do it, and this time they proved that they are that person. So Mo, who do you think?
I mean, in terms of X factors, I mean, probably gonna have to go with Juju. In terms of somebody that really, like, after his days in Pittsburgh, hasn't really gotten the kind of attention and the kind of love that he used to get over with Big Ben. I think Juju, and there seems to be like a recurring theme with this. Like even I don't even know if his name is good nowadays, but Antonio Brown, right? Same thing with him in terms of with Tampa back before he decided to wave at everybody in New York. So I think it's a recurring theme for some top wide receivers to just come back in the Super Bowl and remind people who the heck they are. So I got Juju, man. I think Juju's going to show who he really is, and give people glimpses to who he was back when, in his really, really real good heyday with Big Ben.
Yeah. Josh, who are you picking?
I don't know if this is an X factor, but it's going to be the Mahomes show, man. I'm telling you, he's going to carry that team to the Super Bowl. And he's the entire team, really. He does everything. He keeps the plays alive longer than they should. He makes passes down the field that he shouldn't be making down the field. I mean, he is the X factor on that team, and he's the engine. He keeps the ball rolling, and he's going to win them the game. He is incredible. We're going to see him for the next 20 years. Like, the guy is literally, like you guys said, they're going to be the New England Patriots. They have Gronk, who's Kelsey and the Chiefs. Tom Brady is now Patrick Mahomes, and Andy Reid and Bill Belichick. I mean, they are literally the Patriots.
It's the Patriots too.
We're going to see them in the AFC Championship, if not the Super Bowl. Probably every year for the next half a decade.
Yeah. And if the Eagles do come out on top, who do you think is going to be an X factor for the Eagles, Josh?
I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball, and I'm going to go Hassan Reddick, their defensive end. He didn't get any votes for the Defensive Player of the Year, but he was an absolute monster. And I never really watched the Eagles play too much this season, but what he did against the Niners was incredible. I mean, Trent Williams is one of the best tackles in the league, and he was able to get around him pretty often. So, I mean, if he's able to get around Orlando Brown for the Chiefs, I think he'll be able to cause some trouble for Mahomes. But yeah, I think their defense, if they are going to win, it's going to be because of their defense.
Yeah, definitely. I think their defense as well as their offensive line, which we got to give some love to. I mean, that Eagles offensive line, here's what's going to happen. So the Eagles, they're probably going to score maybe 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns and 1 missed extra point. So that's why it'll be 27-20, like I mentioned earlier. But I think, like I was saying with Hurts, just obviously he's really great at scrambling. He's really good at compromising, finding guys and throwing the ball to them when that wasn't the game plan. That's not what they drew it up. But I do think that a lot of that scrambling is going to turn into more rushing yards, more rushing opportunities for him, for Gainwell, for Sanders. And they're going to be able to do as much as they can through the run game, and that's all powered through that offensive line. I mean, you got Johnson, you got Dickerson, you got Mailata, you got Kelsey. Those guys are going to get it done, and all of the Eagles' touchdowns are going to be from the run game. So that, I think, offensive line for the Eagles is going to be huge, but it's not going to be enough. And then on the Chiefs side of things, I think that the Eagles' defense, of course, it's going to be. I think the Eagles' defense is going to be able to stop the run game, and Pacheco and McKinnon are going to have as many, maybe not as many carries as they have targets, but they're going to get targeted a lot. And what's going to end up happening is that Kelsey is going to create a diversion. He's going to get guys like Smith-Schuster involved. He's going to get guys like Valdez-Scantling. Other receivers are going to be targeted and involved because of Kelsey, but at the same time, when Kelsey's getting the ball, he's going. And I think Kelsey's going to be the biggest difference maker. He's probably going to get 2 touchdowns and 100 yards. And that's what old reliable ends up happening and gets them winning for the Chiefs. Kelsey had 2 touchdowns in the game against the Bengals. And we're probably just going to see more of that. And it's really hard to have an answer for the Mahomes-Kelsey connection. We saw that all year throughout the regular season. But it's really going to come down to the offensive line doing everything that they can for the Eagles, and then Kelsey and Mahomes, as well as all the other receivers. I think they're going to have a lot of opportunities to shine, as well as the running backs. But yeah, so it's absolutely quite something. It's exciting. But yeah, thanks guys for coming on to talk about the Super Bowl, and we'll be watching it. And I mean, my goodness, it's hard to believe that we are here and the season's over. And
it all comes down to this one. Tune in Sunday, February 12th, live on CBS.
Oh yeah, last thing, is Gronk gonna hit that? Is he gonna kick and make that field goal or what?
He has to.
He's gonna do it. I think he's gonna do it. It's not that hard, right?
Go on. If you can catch a ball, you can kick a ball.
Absolutely. He's gonna kick it. I think he's been practicing. He's had plenty of time. He's had plenty of time, right, Mo?
Yes, I am actively helping.
They just got to make it as wide and as low as they can. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's neat. I think this year's halftime show is going to be something special, man. I think that what I read. I mean, I've really paid a lot of attention to the business side of it, and I've heard that that Fox. Oh no, it's not on CBS. Never mind. They don't get free plugging. Fox. It's gonna be on Fox this year, and they're expecting the highest viewership they've ever had in the Super Bowl in history.
Whew. Oh man.
So it's just to add a little more pressure, and people, guys, Super Bowl commercials cost $7 million.
Yikes! That's
7 M's. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see the spectacle of the Super Bowl is irreplaceable, man. Nothing. There's nothing like it.
It's true. All right, fellas. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you later.
Take care, Matt. Appreciate you having us on.
See you, Mo.
Thanks.